Two big ideas from child growth and development that I found interesting and thought were really important were the 4 different parenting styles and Piaget's stages of development. Two big ideas. The 4 different parenting styles can affect their child greatly, from how much their child weighs to how he or she feels about themselves. It's parents' jobs to ensure that their parenting style can support healthy growth, because the way they interact with their child and how they punish their child will influence them for the rest of their lives. Authoritarian is a parenting style where the parent has high demands and low responsiveness. This means that the parent has very high expectations of their child, yet they provide little to no feedback or nurturing. They have a tendency to punish harshly and cause their child to develop low self-esteem, and they also feel like their opinions aren't valued as they get older. Authoritative is a parenting style characterized by high responsiveness and high demands. This means parents are responsive to their child's emotional needs while they also have high standards for their child. They set limits and are very consistent in enforcing boundaries. Both the authoritarian parenting style and the authoritative style have consequences for their child, but the authoritative parents actually take their child's opinions into account. Researchers have found kids who have authoritative parents are more likely to be responsible adults who feel comfortable expressing their opinions. Permissive is a type of parenting where parents have low demands with high responsiveness. So essentially, permissive parents tend to be very loving, yet provide few guidelines or rules for their child. These parents don't expect mature behavior from their child and usually are more like a friend than a parent. Kids who grow up with permissive parents are more likely to struggle academically, may exhibit more behavioral problems. Permissive is a type of parenting where the uninvolved parenting style is when there is a lack of responsiveness to a child's needs. They usually make few to no demands of their child and are often indifferent, dismissive, or even neglectful. Uninvolved parents expect children to raise themselves. This parenting style can cause children to struggle with their self-esteem, they perform poorly in school, and they might even have behavioral problems. The second big idea I wanted to talk about was Piaget's stages of development. Piaget's theory suggests that children move through the 4 different stages of mental development. His theory focuses not only on understanding how children acquire knowledge, but understanding the nature of their intelligence. I think because of that, it is one of the most important observations in child development. During the sensory motor stage, which is the earliest stage of cognitive development, infants and toddlers acquire knowledge through sensory experiences and manipulating objects. The infant knows the world through their movements, such as grasping onto things, looking, sucking, or listening to things. They realize that their actions can cause things to happen in the world around them, and they go through dramatic growth during this time. The preoperational stage is the second stage of Piaget's theory, that begins when the child's around 2 as the child starts to talk and lasts till approximately age 7. Language development is one of the hallmarks of this period. Children do not yet understand concrete logic, and they are unable to see the points of view of others. During this stage, children begin to engage in symbolic play and learn to manipulate symbols. So this means the child is able to use an object to represent something else, such as pretending a broom is a horse. The concrete operational stage is the third stage in Piaget's theory and starts when the child's around 7 and ends when they're 11. During this stage, the child starts to think logically and concrete about events. Their thinking becomes more logical and organized, but it's still very concrete and literal. They struggle with hypothetical concepts at this age. The final stage of Piaget's theory is the formal operational stage, which begins when the child is 12. This stage, the adolescent begins to think abstractly and reason about hypothetical problems.